Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, sampler review series of videos I've been doing for a little while now. Go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff, then, folks, I'm going to talk about stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff that, time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie, this sounds delicious. Let's all hope and pray to whatever deity, mythical force, universal entity, whatever it may be. I don't care if it's the living tribunal from fucking Marvel. If you believe in it, let's make this happen. Well, we'll get to that. Folks, it's super simple format. I'm going to go over there and I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm yammering on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside my truck. And whilst I'm doing all that, I'm wearing grody work clothes. Typically, when I'm inside my truck and I'm wearing grody work clothes, that means that I was on my way home from work and I found some shit to review for you. That is definitely the case today. I went over there, I got off of work about an hour ago now, and I was on my way home. Knew I wanted to grab some food, and I actually had a viewer request, a guy named Brett Lift, username Brett Lift. He wanted me to review some snack and bacon from Dunkin' Donuts, which I just did. Go watch that video. And while I was going through, I'm looking at other potential stuff, new things that I can maybe pick up. And I saw that they had a new coffee item that I was unaware of. So, what am I reviewing? What are we doing here? Well, folks, it happens to be, boom! Ooh, what is this? This is their new blueberry donut coffee. And I got it iced, so, yes. Sounds like it should be good. Let's get a thing for the thing real quick. So that we can... Ha 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 ha! And I just want to mention, because this is a Dunkin' item, this is going to end up on my Sampler Platter Dunkin' Reviews playlist, which is a playlist of just all the Dunkin' shit that I've tried over the years. So, let's give it a go. I want to see what a blueberry donut coffee is supposed to taste like. Can I smell it through the straw? Not well. I'll be goddamned. If that doesn't taste like a blueberry donut, I don't know what does. Except for a blueberry donut. That is some kind of alchemy right there. I mean, now to be fair, it's not like an outright one-to-one. It would, it's obviously not going to be. It's coffee, so it's got the coffee aspect to it. But that is identifiably a blueberry donut flavor. The blueberry isn't super duper strong, whereas in plain, blueberry isn't super duper strong, but it's there. It's a nice kind of blueberry accent. But it's not just like, okay, they add in some blueberry or some shit. No, because there's another element to it, like a almost mildly sweet and savory kind of thing going on that kind of gives you sort of that donut emulation. And I wonder if what they did was if they took sort of the base for their birthday cake, lattes and shit. I think I even reviewed that at one point. I wonder if they used that and they basically just added blueberry to it. Because that way, when you have that type of mixture going on, it gives it, again, that sort of almost buttery kind of cakey aspect. And I wonder if they just layered some blueberry on top of that to get the desired effect. I'm not saying that's what they did. I'm just spitballing. But it's nice. And the other nice thing about it is I've mentioned this before. When it comes to coffee and stuff, I'm not a huge coffee guy. I'm a coffee adjacent guy. I don't like straight black coffee or anything like that. I like it when you cram it full of stuff so that you only kind of taste the coffee. This falls into that category, but I do appreciate that whatever flavoring they're using, it's not overly sweet. It doesn't turn it into a dessert drink. It's almost like just a creamer, basically. So it's not overly heavy on the sweetness or, any of the elements at play. It's there, it's noticeable, but it's relatively mild. I think that for me personally, I think they could have done more with the blueberry. I think that the blueberry, and I get kind of why they didn't, because they didn't want it to be just like a straight blueberry thing. But I think they could have done a little bit more. I think that would have kind of livened it up a little bit. But it is still really nice, and it does a good job of representing what it's supposed to be. And when it comes to things like this, when it comes to items, that are saying this type of stuff, making these claims, I want that, if you tell me, hey, it's going to be blueberry donut, I want to taste the blueberry donut. And I want to taste the blueberry and the donut. They've managed to achieve this with this. And so that in and of itself gives them quite a few points with me already. And then the fact that they managed to still blend it in well so that it's not completely overtaking the coffee or anything. It's just, like I said, it's a nice accent, It's definitely very similar to, like, if you just had, like, a blueberry donut creamer and you added it in. That's sort of the general gist of kind of what I'm getting from it all. But it's tasty enough. And like I said, I have to give them credit for actually doing what they said they were going to do with the description of the item. Now, that said, is it my favorite Dunkin' item I've ever had? No, not even close. But it's certainly on the, the better side of average. If you're talking about, if I were going to give it a grade, B-. It's nothing spectacular, but most of the element that's impressive to me is, again, just the fact that they managed to emulate that flavor fairly well. But I think for me personally, I would have liked, a little bit more zing. But anyway, 2 questions have to be asked. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? I'm going to go with maybe on occasion and sure. Like, I can't give this one like a hugely resounding success or endorsement. But I do like elements to it. And I think for me personally, like I was saying before, I started kind of rambling a bit. I would like more zing, I think that for me would really have kind of pushed it over the edge. But I also get why they didn't add in the added zing. I get it. So, but every now and again, I can maybe see doing it. It would, but again, it wouldn't be a go-to. It wouldn't be like a favorite item or something. But if for sheer acknowledgement of the competency that they were able to put into it, sure, why not? And if I'm recommending it to people, it is one of those things. I mean, if you see it on the menu and it seems like it's something that would be appealing to you, I'd say give it a go. I'm sure it's going to be a limited time item. If for no other reason than, again, just acknowledging the fact that they managed to actually do a pretty good job of coming up with that blueberry donut flavor, it's at least worth a one shot. I don't think it'll be your favorite item, but I think, like me, at the very least, you'll be like, oh, that was pretty good. That's okay. So, that's kind of where I fall on that. 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of the week, monumental rest of the month, stupendous rest of your folks. Go over there and have yourselves a truly Boston cream pie / donut-tastic rest of your life. Because Boston cream donut is the best donut ever. It just is. It just is. Don't get me wrong, you got your crullers and, your bear claws. There's lots of good ones, but Boston cream donut is the best one. I meant to say donut, but I just... Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity into the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do if can't do all the time, I know I can't do all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. And when we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important that we go over there whenever possible. Take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives, hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, excuse me, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, I mean, what kind of flavors of Dunkin' would you like to see? I mean, they're never quite as ambitious as, like, your Starbucks. Starbucks, they'll just do some weird shit, like the Oleetto. Which, by the way, I reviewed 2 of those, where that was the drink where they went over there and mixed olive oil into their coffee beverages. go watch those reviews, please. Make it worth what I had to go through. You know, they're never going to be quite as ambitious as all that, but they do come up with some fun ideas. And like I said, I've reviewed a lot of them over the years. You know, I think that like the Tiger Boba Tea, that was probably one of my more favorite ones. You know, they've done some really good ones over the years. There's plenty of misses too, but you know, just on your end, like, are there any ideas out there that you've had, just things that maybe you think would work well for them? Because Dunkin', they are a little bit more low-key than, you know, like your Starbucks. They're not trying to be all fancy-schmancy. So, anyway, I'd love to hear about it. If you want to comment, we could yammer on about it for a bit. Anyway, bye.